Good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever time of day it is for you. My name is Justin. Coolimp and a whole host of names that I've always talked about. Oh, I started the wrong game. I just realized that. So yesterday we did end up being Borderlands 2, and I completely forgot about that coming into this. So I apologize. Give me a moment to get this shut down, and we'll move over to Borderlands 3 real quick. Ooh. Sorry, guys. So sorry. Okay. Is it this one that we did? Yep. I'm waiting for it to load right now. Cancel that. Yep. Now, Borderlands 3. Whenever it pops up on my guide here so I can add it back. There we go. Now it should. Ooh, that's weird. Gearbox. Do 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 do. There we go. As you can see, the little dancing claptrap showing that the game is in fact loading. I hate sneezing so much. So in general, I don't like my nose being touched, even by myself. And whenever I sneeze, I have to blow my nose at the same right afterwards, or it feels weird. Wow, it's taking its time loading today. Come on, Claptrap. Wrap this up. There we go. So, while I was offline today and at work, I sat down and I figured out what I'm going to build. I'm going to build an Iron Cub fire build. Yeah, I'm doing something different. I've never done a heavy element character with any of the Borderlands like this. Or at least not in Borderlands 3, not that I remember. Let's see. We are not playing. Come on, where you at? There we go. New game. New game. We are starting from the very beginning. Cooperation.
So, you want
to hear a story, eh?
A tale of adventure across the
stars.
Come, listen to old Marcus. Have I got a story for you? My tale begins here, on this backwater planet called...
Alright, the reason I'm skipping all this is because every time I just let that stuff play, I get copyright. Hit on my copyright for my YouTube channel. Nothing happens on Twitch, but it's always YouTube where it happens.
You picked a hell of a time to join the Crimson Raiders.
Okay, something to point out. That's a good starting point. He flat out says, you're joining the Crimson Raiders. Right there. You already established why the character's there. That is fantastic. Weird.
This is your stop, Vault Hunter.
Bolty Volts!
Good. I'm locked, loaded, and ready to loot.
Try to stay alive. I'd hate to lose a new customer.
Why is he still driving the bus? Just off of, a single playthrough, The guy's a multi-billionaire.
And welcome to Pandora.
You must be the new recruit. Pete to but you can just call me General Claptrap of the Crimson Raiders. What's your name?
Mose, gunner
First class. Excellent off, mechanized infantry. Okay, I played the start of this game a few times. A blind devotion, which reminds me, if you're going to be obeying me, you'll need an echo device. Don't worry, we're going to be replacing that standard doll. All right. Come on, hurry up. I'm waiting on you. We're going to go standard Mose. Cyclops, and let's see, what's a good... And we'll go black and white for shits and giggles. I have sat there and tried to read through that in one sitting. It does not let you read it. Like I said, I think I may have played this game once or twice. Now, whenever he crosses it, it's going to crumble. But you can beat him to it. Now, this is the second year we've seen this. But yeah. This is some of the best stuff in the game is little scenes like this. What? There we go. Real quick, you can tell I'm used to playing other games. Nope, I wanted this. Nope, no tokens to redeem. Super duper quiet! Stealth, right? An optional shooting mode. Try it out. Another good thing, all ammo and money is auto pickup. All you have to do is pass by it, which saves a great deal of time when it comes to other stuff. Now here's the interesting thing. That strategy has worked for him. Whether or not the writer realized it, in Hammerlock's hunt, he got a group of bloodthirsty Jack cultists to worship him. Going to surrender. Okay, real quick. Social, we're gonna pop over to here real quick. Sorry, I'm cleaning all this stuff out real quick. What is drop? Oh, and yeah, I'll hold on to the butt stallion. There.
We did it! I did it! Another victory for the Crimson Raiders! Hey, I feel funny. What's happening to me?
Okay, I'm not using either of these guns. I don't like these guns. So one of the really nice things they did with Borderlands 3 is all the manufacturers actually have real flavor to them. Is it you that I like? Hi! They all have gimmicks to them. Whenever you pop a headshot, well, a critical shot to be more specific, with Jacobs, it bounces. My new chamber pot. I'm gonna poop in your head. Okay, I've tried to do a number of one life challenges. I've failed them all, but I've tried, and I've had to do this part several times over.
I'll be there soon.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye-bye. Next. And if you're just joining me, this is a continuation of BorderQuest, my annual playthrough of all the Borderlands FPS games, starting with Borderlands 1 and working my way through Borderlands TPS, Borderlands 2, Borderlands 3, doing all story-based DLCs. Since we're on 3, obviously I've done the other ones. There's a shield there, but because I grabbed the Special Collector's Edition shield, it's no good, but I'll hold on to it.
Sweet.
Okay. So if this is your first time seeing this, which one is it? It is you. So for now, it's going to be that. And we go back over to Iron Bear. Oh yeah, that's right. I don't get that dot yet. You're not actually supposed to get it unlocked until you get in here.
That's a KIA on the knife-wielding maniac. Super dead. Score one for the Crimson Raiders. You and Plav
Hyperion weapons all have shields on them. Jacobs, on critical hits, jump over to another target and can sometimes critical hit them, but they won't ricochet multiple times. Vladoff has 2 shooting modes. Let me see, who else is there? Malawan does 2 different elements. And let me see, who else is there? Because I don't think about anything other than those 4. Tedior has special bouncing effects.
Well, the cult's destroyed every other Crimson Raider stronghold. We'll have to do for now.
Maybe, just maybe, in Wonderlands, we'll have a skip dialogue button. Just saying. Butt Stallion! You can hear that little ping? And you're gonna see in the early game, unless I get something super nice like a Hellwalker, I am gonna be checking for weapons. One of the biggest problems with this game, and mind you, we're comparing, like, we're nitpicking a little bit. This is a big issue for me, but overall it's a nitpick. There's a lot of talk to Lilith moments. And it's kind of a meme in the different parts of the community where you have to go back and talk to Lilith for something. It's a little boring, and I dislike it. And that gets frustrating. Because right now, she's walking. But I have played this game so often, I'm still able to get back around before she gets here. Now that is my biggest complaint. Audio. There you go, that's a little bit better.
I'll stand guard.
You can still die. Doo 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 doo. Doo 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 doo. She takes her time doing all this stuff and it's boring. Ooh, what we get? Vladoff pistol. That I really do not want. It's a Vladoff. Sun Smashers clans have recovered the sacred vault map. Send our followers to invite the Sun Smashers. You get the point. Now, something that is annoying for a lot of players in Borderlands 3 is how plentiful legendaries are. Occasionally what will happen is they will have events where all you have is legendaries and the machines for a few days. Which can be both a great thing and a bad thing, depending on your perspective on it. You can disable most of those events, but they will regularly have and I say regularly, it's not all the time, but on a pretty frequent basis they'll have legendary items in there. Right now I do have a shield on that is a part of the one of the packages that you can buy. And depending on how long it takes for it to get to Steam, I may just have to update to the season pass on Epic. I don't like EGS. I was having a conversation with someone else earlier, earlier today or yesterday, about how their practices is what makes me not like them. Not the Reddit drama. No, I dislike their business practices. Come on, hurry up, finish your conversation. There we go. So because of that, I dislike Epic on a fundamental level.
Vaults attract all kinds. Remember, power inside is hard to resist. It's up to us to make sure it doesn't end up in the wrong hands. Trust me, you've seen it happen.
Real quick, options, visuals. Yeah, okay. Wow, I'm doing a horrible job with this.
No, you can't do this to me.
You found a human spy.
Alright, so I have a beginning route. As my computer begins to hit some more, which I dislike. Got you too. How about you? What do we got here? Everybody, catch a grenade. We get the spine. We come down here, we spawn these guys.
You're so screwed now.
Iron Cub comes out. Dead Skag. Dead Skag. Pup! Dead.
Fine, be that way. I'll just kick ass on my own. What's up?
Another Skag Pup dead.
There's one of those shock skags now. Get its spine. Go on, pick it up. Hope you don't mind handling
Viscera.
Very good. Bring it back to the machine. And be quick about it.
And you can even begin to see the little numbers piling up with the bonus fire damage while on cooldown. But notice how quickly it's coming back up already. Now the reason we do this is there is a red chest we can get right down there. Not all the quests have the optional quests don't all have like something that's awesome like this.
I appreciate your
Dedicated
dedication
to capitalism.
You've already got a shock skag spine. Try that. It will work much better, I promise. Well done, Vault Hunter. Now you have
That brings us back around to Marcus's vending machine.
murderous wares in a new convenient location. And as an added thank you for dishing out some vengeance on those filthy bandits, let me open up my secret stash for you.
No.
Who says payback doesn't pay, huh? Inventory comes and goes, but you can't beat cash.
Okay.
Good hunting.
Let's see what we got down here in this machine, in this red chest. Shields. Until I hit level 10, I'm keeping the shield I have. This shield does early loot find, and I like the early loot find. All right. And now we head back. and we finish rounding up the rest of the Sun Smasher camp. And I do this every single time the same way. Because if there is going to be a legendary in there, sometime that legendary is very worth getting. There are still garbage legendaries throughout the game, like things that are just not worth your time. But I've gotten like Hellwalkers early into a new character, and it's like, yes, please. Are you sure about that? What's that? Ooh, a new Jacobs. What's that? Yeah, about that.
Cup's empty. Guess it's up to me.
And look at that.
Somebody help me! I would prefer not to die like this. Okay. Shoot me now, will ya?
Almighty Bandit King.
Whoa, hey, feet work good. Nice to meet you. Hey, thanks. If you hadn't come along, I might be dead. So,
Yes, you probably would have.
what are you doing here?
Mission for the Crimson Raiders. Kinda top secret. Direct
Now,
orders from
you
Lily.
can actually save quit here, and it'll advance the dialogue,
Oh man, I used to run with
but it will respawn all the enemies, so it's just not worth it.
War chief. Go Sun Smashers. I mean, at least I used to be a war chief. Until, my clan found that stupid alien junk. I warned them not to mess with that crap. But what do? They tie me up and they take it to the Calypso twins. Not cool. Bro. Well, we should probably get out of here before the COV come back. So, where are Lilith and the Raiders hanging these days?
Come on.
Former COV propaganda center. Emphasis on former.
Now we're talking. Come on, let's get out of here. I'll lead the way, even though I'm totally unarmed. Can't let them know you're afraid and totally defenseless, bro. Bandit life!
You have 2 fists.
So, you took over that COV propaganda center all by,
By your widow self?
You know it, Tidy Whitey.
I am impressed.
Vault totally trashed my camp. Like, that is not where that bloody skull should be. It is
Give me 1 second. I will have to be right back.
Really ruining the vibe.
Mother
I know a shortcut.
fucking song that doesn't end. God damn it.
Another one down.
Oh, there you are. Come on. Hello.
I lost count.
Ugh, Skag Central, am I right? You know, I'm gonna let you take care of him. Only thing I'm packing right now is not something I'm gonna use on a Skag.
And it's in my head. I want to sing it. I want the infernal thing out of my head, but singing it will not resolve the problem.
Coast is clear. Nice. Let's go meet up with the Firehawk. Those Calypsos won't stop until every bandit on Pandora worships them like gods. I mean, bandits don't need gods. We worship a hot fire and a charred piece of meat. There are rules.
Yes, there's rules to being an outlaw and a criminal.
Sure, Lilith will be glad to see me. We're tight, bro. Super tight. Like, bro tight. It's a thing.
Now, one of the things I do hope that they fix is you can save and quit a lot faster. Because this shit is annoying. Like, make F9 save quit, just quit out of the game. That way, and I'm talking about Wonders Lands here. That way, whenever we're having to skip dialogue, because they're probably going to have a whole bunch of dialogue at sections where you can't really skip it.
Those Calypsos won't stop until every bandit on Pandora worships them like gods.
Oh, it didn't move over. Mother.
Worship a hot fire and a charred piece of meat. There are rules. I'm sure Lilith will be glad to see me. We're tight, bro. Super tight. Like, bro tight.
It's a thing. I like some hyenas, but I prefer wolfhounds. Let's see. No. Yeah.
Whoa, sweet digs. Fortified, well ventilated. You know, throw some bloody skulls up on the walls. You got yourself a nice cozy place here, friend.
Let me see. Is there a button to just exit the game? Photo mode. E-brake. Common. There is not. Yeah, like I said, most annoying thing about this one is that you just can't do a really quick save quit. And given how much you have to basically, unless you like sitting there listening to the same dialogue over and over and over again, you essentially have to save quit over and over and over again. And that to me is frustrating. Some people started singing and not knowing what it was. Oh, look! Speak to Lilith so we can continue on the game.
Didn't find the map, so I brought a bandit instead.
Map? If you're talking about that alien junk, my clan is bringing it to the Calypsos
Clan?
as an offering. They're heading to the Holy Broadcast Center. It's where the Calypsos host murder sermons to amp up their followers.
Can't let the Calypsos get that map. The Holy Broadcast Center is a long ride. Vault Hunter, you're gonna need some wheels. My friend Ellie runs the catch-a ride. Go introduce yourself.
There we go. That's something that's worthwhile. Yep. Okay. Fantastic. So, about 10 apiece. This is actually one of my top-rated SMGs in this game for me. Personally, I'm a big Rate of Fire fan. Give me a lot of Rate of Fire. I'm going to be a happy, happy person.
Now remind
Me
me,
what?
what'd you say you was gonna do to
My gal pal.
Lil? I've heard y'all were in the neighborhood. Good to see old Lil bouncing your blood. I'm Ellie. Hey, what are you staring at, hun?
Damn, you're sturdy. It'd take an army to knock you down.
Ain't you a hungry? Lil said you was looking for a vehicle. Damn cultist stole all mine. Mind stealing me one back? Then I'll set you up with a catch a ride. And thanks for coming by. It's real loud over here.
Next!
Okay.
I still do. Holy crap, myself.
There's a reason I like the Sleeping Giant. It has a whole bunch of hidden perks on it that it can randomly activate. Kind of like the glitched weapons on Borderlands pre-sequel.
We got contact.
Okay, next. There we go. Now, you may see that random explosion happen. That means they were killed with a critical hit. One of the catches that happened, is that, that particular, tree on the, that particular skill that does it in the Guardian ranks was busted. Because what it was doing is it was hitting everybody.
All we have inside is circuitry and gears. But that one also had a gyroscopic rotor. Keeps us from falling over all the time. Mine's been missing for years.
Now, one of the cool things about this game, and I give them a ton of credit for stuff like this,
Better version of
you can jack people's rides. Whee!
Just park your car there, hun.
This is the song that never ends. As it goes on and on, my friend.
In case you get a Pandora flat, meaning your car explodes.
Alright, so, couple things. Even though this game is less bad about it,
Tell Lil our ship's on
we still have levels that we have to basically meet. Once we get the right equipment, a lot of things become just superficial. But
listen to the other bandits not to mess with the raiders.
what's gonna happen is you're gonna see me pick up a couple quests. First one is this one.
Now, head to the Holy
This
Broadcast
particular
Center.
mission is dump truck.
Dump trucks in the neighborhood. I can practically smell this sumbitch. Look around.
Good for early experience. Lots of enemies to kill, so more possibility for loot drops in a short period of time.
Are always richer in iron.
Kill him, kill him, kill him. Turn that ass around.
Nice killing, VH. Pretty sure that dumbass dump truck was sitting on a loot stash. See if you can find it.
Better. Ooh. Oh, I'm loaded up. Okay, give me a second. First off, we're gonna drop you, drop you, drop you, drop you, and drop you. I want to pick you back up.
Dump truck stash is probably behind a secret trap door. Might need to do something special to get it open.
And there's a lot of little places like this.
That's called a red chest in bandit speak. Probably 'cause it's blood or something. Bandits are happier about blood than a tick on a skag. There. Anyways, you're always more likely to find good stuff in them red chests. They're usually hidden pretty good though, so you'll have to
Now, once we kill Dump Truck, we come over here.
Thanks for taking care of that dump
We pick up the Undertaker mission. Undertaker's another area where there is a good density of enemies. And that density is why these are good spots to pick up early levels at.
Stole a pair of my undies. Those are my trademark Hyperion red bars, damn it. Do you know how hard it is to get your hands on those down here? Ghosts murder him horribly. Ugh, I hate the Calypso twins so much. They con the bandits of Pandora with promises of death cars and meat storms and blood saunas. Good stuff, right? I mean, even my clan fell for it. Gullible idiots. Now, I've never seen the Calypsos myself, but they must be the most terrifying, bloodthirsty psychopaths Pandora's ever seen. I mean, look, my clan only exists
Kinda. Have you met the Vault Hunters?
just my abs. So imagine what it takes
The Vault Hunters have
for clans to get
essentially genocided planets at this point.
18 bare mins.
This is the SMG that doesn't end. Yes, it goes on and on, my friend. Some people started shooting and not knowing what it was. Hi. Bye. 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 Hi there, you. Help me out here, Iron Cub. As you saw, I actually looked at the magazine for this before I picked it up. There's a reason for that. So magazine, shotguns with, specifically Jacob's shotguns that have, high magazines, you want to make sure it actually has a low, short reload period. Because it is very possible for you to get one with a slow, reload, and it defeats the purpose of the shotgun if you can't reload it pretty damn quickly.
Check out that body count.
Like, we're talking pumping in individual shells. For now, that's not going to matter. We're going to up Iron Bear and Iron Cub. Now, early game, there is an enemy from Borderlands 2. It is called a Shrek. It is a hunt monster. A hunt monster is Hammerlock's little, they call them crew missions. And basically what it does is it's a Shrek and it's a rack and a, whatchamacallit as well, well, my brain just froze up on me. Racks and those little fuckers on the ground, I forget what they're called. Anyways, it's a combination of those. And it's typically, it's quite murder hobo on you. So you're going to see how I handle these. Now, I stole this from a speedrunner. So this is not original Justin Coolimp information. Now, you also see me doing some of these little side missions. It's because they're near the same area, and because they're near the same area, it's easy to just do them and get the extra experience.
Live for attention, right? So I say we take it away by turning their own broadcast towers against them. Thanks for turning that tower to our side, sugar. That should get the
Let's see. Anything good in here? No. And you're going to see me do that a lot. You're going to see me take a passing look at the weapons. And if it's not something up to my standard, you're just going to see me drive away. Now, what we do, we come over here. You guys started shit with me.
Greetings, Vault Hunter. I am Sir Hammerlock.
Skags and Rax. So,
You see, the borderlands are full of
we summon the Shrek,
I will pay you top dollar for that truth.
who is level 9.
That airborne abomination is known as a scrack. Correct nature's mistake and kill it for me.
This is not a nature's mistake type of thing. Blame Dr. Zed for this one. And what we can do, we weaken it with the car. We hop out of said car. And then
Good show.
we down it with the gun.
The scrack in all of creation is on my wall of monstrosities.
Now, the reason we can do it that way and get all the experience is because we actually landed the killing blow, not inside of a vehicle, but in the, with one of our firearms. Woo! And this is where we begin our early game kind of grind. It's not a hardcore grind. We're going to get a couple levels off of them once we get to level 8. That's going to make... oh, I forget the guy's name. Mouthpiece. Go down like a sack of bricks. Ooh, what do we have here? Fastball. Yep. Fastball, definitely. It's not 10, so it's alright. Nope, don't want the stagecoach. Fastball. Alrighty then. That's a good start. So, fastballs in Borderlands 2 were broken. Like, not itty-bitty broken. I mean, the game was done if you farm Boyle for the fastball.
Scrub. Chow down, little cub. Killer cub, cut loose. Moving up.
Now, the reason this works as a good farming location at the beginning of the game has nothing to do with the loot, and it has to do with how many badasses can spawn here. You can get up to 3 badasses that spawn here. And that makes getting all the way through this area super, super easy. Badasses, of course, drop extra loot. They give you more experience. It's worth it. Some of the side missions are long and tedious, and they don't give you enough experience, in my opinion, to do them. From this type of perspective that I play in. So, murdering the dog snot out of the Shrek is an easy way for me to get that done quick, fast, and in a hurry without having to take up a lot of time doing other stuff. Okay. Armor restoration. Yep, there we go. That's going to be our next. Kill you. And he does actually have a legendary drop that he can drop as well.
No, no, no! You can't do this to me.
He also drops iridium and plenty of cash. Now, one of the things that they did good in this game for the loot is if there's ever a legendary item on the ground, it automatically highlights it for you. So you don't have to go search around all the items. You don't have to worry about if it was just money that you saw drop and it happened to overlay another bar for a moment and you thought it was golden. It saves a lot of little time like that. Okay. Okay.
Hell yeah!
Now, I'm hoping to get something, specific element off of Shrek.
Guess they couldn't hack it.
Okay, next. Nothing yet, but we're gonna keep killing.
That's what I do. Probably not as tough as they look.
And you'll see me do this actually at a couple of places. This is the most prominent one, at least early game wise. The rest of it I normally just walk through until I get up to about Grave Ward. Grave Ward I sometimes farm for like a level or two depending on where I'm at when I get to that point. And you're actually watching me check those. Sometimes things will pop in there and you'll miss them because you don't expect to see them there. So we're going to come over here. Whip that ass around. Now watch me whip. Now watch me nay-nay. Watch me whip, whip. Watch me nay-nay. Hello, you. See what I mean? Oh, I forgot to put out there. Level 8.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
Fire. Corrosive. Okay, we got one. Let's try for a second one, see if we can't get a incendiary. So I'm doing a fire build. Because I'm doing a fire build, I want to make sure I can get a fire weapon early. This particular fire weapon is damn nice. Watch me whip, whip. Watch me nay-nay. I whip my hair back and forth. I whip my hair back and forth. I'm trying to get the song that doesn't end out of my head. That song is corrosive to mental health, in my opinion. Plus, my wife will beat the living snot out of me. Just kidding. Like, not seriously, but she gets annoyed if I start singing songs like, this is a song that doesn't end. Now, there is damage reduction in this game, but it is nowhere near as bad as the other ones. Let's see, what flavor did we get? Siren's Mark. I'm gonna try a couple of more times. I really do want to get in the Incendiary early. If I can get the Incendiary early, that's gonna help out with my build significantly. I don't think the Sleeping Giant can actually spawn with an element to it. But like, if I can find a Hellwalker, oh, Hellwalker. Firestorm. And worst comes to worst, I don't get it in a couple of more tries. I'll just move on from it. There we go.
Anybody counting? Cup cut loose. Smacked it down.
Wow. Give me one more minute. This has really been a bad night for me. I think dinner's messing up with my gut. am so sorry tonight, guys. It is whatever happened. I happened to eat. It's agreeing with me like Biden and Trump supporters. They just don't get along. At least I don't have a job anymore where I'm taking telephone calls and I have to decide whether or not it's time to get up and use the restroom or hang up on. We'll just leave it there. I've had managers in the past that tell me I need to take the phone call. Woohoo! Okay, come on. Fire. Now, the procs to turn this into that really fast gun happens on reload. Okay. Where you at? There you are. Okay. Okay. It's a firearm. We have one more attempt before we hit level 9, which is my cutoff for this. I could sit here and farm until I get it, but it's possible for me to hit level 12 before that happens, and let's not. Just saying, let's not. And doing the side quests, it really isn't faster. That's one of the things I really hope they do with Wonderlands is making the side content worth leveling for, worth it to actually do it, because you're going to get either levels off of it or kick-ass items. And this isn't a DSP take on it. This is more of a realistic take on it. Level 9. And nothing. That's alright. There we go. You can really continue to grind them until you get it, but it's not worth it. Normally I pick up that vehicle in there because it gives you like 500 experience points or something like that. Not worth it now because I'm already level 9, which means I'm going to walk through here. And to be honest, I never, like the Typhon stuff, I've never gotten anything like really spectacular out of them. Like, it seems to be just under, like, the loot I've always gotten from it has always been under a red chest. Like, less than a red chest. I've never picked up a legendary from, not in a single one of my runs. Sister. I like how some of the streamers absolutely recognize themselves in the Calypso twins. Real quick, let's... Yeah, I have a corrosive. I don't want to use a corrosive.
Tango spotted.
Love that sound. Hi, you.
Better luck next life.
Hi. Give me a second. Thank you, Iron Cub. Love fastballs early game.
Alright, time to welcome the Sun Smashers into our family. We'll post the vid later, along with some new Let's Plays. Signing off for now. Don't forget to like, follow, and obey.
Another perfect live stream from our
Yeah. Any type of content creator should recognize themselves at least a little bit in the Calypsos. Because you have to do a lot of those same type of things. You have to promote yourself. You have to be the one to do it. You can't let someone else do it for you or it's never going to get done, basically. Bye. Bye. Bye, bye, bye.
Anybody counting?
And by the way, it's almost like I've done this part 100 times before. There you go. Dead. Dead.
Away. Ooh.
And look at that. Here's another place to pick up weapons. The early exploration of this game was super valuable to people. What? I've never had this many problems with these games. Let's reload this. Just frustrating is what it is. Alright, we're almost back. Just waiting for Claptrap to finish his little dance here. Let's see, what's this? Okay, I know what that was. I know what that is. Know what that is. Okay, yeah. You almost done, Claptrap? There we go, that's what I thought. Now the question becomes, does Wonderlands become its own series here in the near future? Because I could see Wonderlands being its own series. Like, if they keep the general style going, I could see that definitely being its own series and being kind of awesome. Okay, where am I at? Okay, I see where I'm at. Mouthpiece jumps down.
Vault map in my sights. Here comes out of juice. Yoink.
Did you come all this way for that busted ass map, or are you just here to see me? Didn't know you were such a super. Oh, you missed the show? Oh, right. But you're all like, what's up with those husks? Well, it's a thing I do. Check out the screens.
Something I found out, you can actually get up over this. It doesn't do the game any good because you still have to wait for this cutscene to play out.
Just a place in our family. They just wanted guns and cash. They betrayed the family. Oh, then try something great.
Gods don't.
Gods don't negotiate. Love it. Like I said, that map is super busted, so go ahead and take it. I'll swing by later and pick it up. You're my most loyal follower, Balti. I knew you'd find it.
So, here's the catch. What they were trying to do was a good idea. They basically wanted you to be able to see all the content without, like, just skipping right past it. The problem is, after you've played the game a few times, you don't want to sit there and listen to Tyrene or Troy. They are good for like 2 or 3 like playthroughs before you get annoyed with them. And I've done playthroughs of all the characters. I've maxed out all the characters on this game. I've done several one lives that I've failed, but I've still tried. And over again, they become the worst part of it. They don't have the staying power of someone like Jack, who I can sit down and listen to him ramble incoherently for a minute after I'm done killing the warrior, and I have no problems with it. But if we were listening to just Tyrene and Troy talk, I don't find that as enjoyable or as fun. There's no lines that just stand out as their characters have progressed.
You got the map.
They played the characters very, very well.
It's not just a map, though. Use this to open the other vaults on Pandora. Every vault needs its key.
Well, let's take a look. Been a long time.
But those two just, they're not that exciting. And so it's something that I think should be in most games, is the ability to skip dialogue. I would suggest somewhere like maybe the page up or page down button as default, because those are keys most people don't use throughout a standard playthrough. But yeah, it's aggravating. Yeah, we can sit here and run around and be silly while she's doing her talky bits.
There's only one person on this planet who knows how this Iridian tech works.
But it's
Canis. She's got a dig site on the other side of the valley.
just not super exciting to listen to it for the 50th time.
I'll catch up when I can. Have to track down a few loose ends for our ship.
Hey, superfan! You sure you picked the right team?
Yes.
I get it, we all grew up wanting to be vault hunters. But I'm not a follower like you. I'm a god. And my followers will do anything I ask. Oh, here, quick demo. Hey, you! Cut off your favorite leg. Oh, Tyrene! I didn't say halt. He cut off both. Now he's trying to stand on his stumps. One sec.
Now, there's cute little things like this that aren't so bad.
Better when they're afraid. That was my point. Ow, right.
And then they ruin it.
Will die for me. And when it's your turn, I'll let you know. Now run along, superfan. Fix that map for me. Those vaults are mine.
Are you Tanis?
I am. You must be Lilith's new vault hunter, and you found the map. I suppose congratulations are
Oh,
in
look.
order.
She's covering up large swaths of her body.
While I examine this unimaginable...
I wonder whatever that could mean.
You may wait outside and steal anything not nailed down.
Already on it, Tanis.
I need to use you as a sounding board for my hypotheses. Please, don't confuse it for conversation. As I suspected, Tyrene Calypso is a siren. She seems to feed on the life force of others, and clearly her cult is her food source for now. The vaults hold unimaginable power, you know. I shudder to think of what might happen if the Calypso twins reach them first.
I wonder if the original power was Leech. So, I've talked about this before with other creators.
Do you hear screaming or
We know about
one of my
4
episodes?
definite powers.
Could be both, but we definitely
Um,
have company.
Amara has Slam or Grasp. There is Phase Shift, which is the technological version. There is Phase Walk, which is Lilith's ability. And Phase Lock. All of these are the 4 abilities that we know from the sirens that we've interacted with.
So don't, say anything stupid.
Tanis now has Phase Shift, which is the technological one, which leaves us with Tyrene and Steel. Now, we have no idea
Don't let them anywhere near
what
the
Steel's
camp.
power was, but based off of her design, she clearly was a siren.
We can't let them get the map.
And I wonder what her powers were.
Keep fighting, Vault Hunter.
I'm not breaking a sweat here, Lilith.
Say buongiorno to my tiny amigo.
There we go.
All right, killer. Take the rest out together.
So the question is her power really
Count.
only Leech?
It's empty. Guess it's up to me.
Or is it because, and I think what we'll find out in probably Borderlands 4, because this game was a commercial success, it was a player success, the game isn't poorly reviewed or anything.
Okay.
Because of that, I think so. I have actually a theory about all this. I don't think the original creator of the series had any grand plan for the sirens. Lilith is a siren. She has these supernatural powers. Blah blah blah. Mordecai had some special bird. Brick could just punch things, and you could, with the technological explanation, explain the turrets from Roland. But the sirens didn't really get expanded on until Anthony Birch took over the writing. And I like Anthony's writing. So I'm thinking that the leech power that they gave the Calypsos here, that was kind of a necessary evil for them. So I think that their original power was probably not the leech. It was probably some type of energy synthesis or energy reduction. Because if you take a look at the device that we will come across eventually in the game, that device seems to be weakening wherever they're at. Probably weakening time-space, have the monster, the destroyer in some other dimension. And you had to weaken the space. You had to consume the energy somehow.
Can you help Ellie get the ship prepped?
It probably wasn't a power that was ravenous for its start. Like, you don't see Lilith always on fire.
Calypsos aren't gonna let us leave without a fight.
Maya wasn't always like having things locked up around her. You never saw like things just randomly happen like that. All the sirens seem to have a really good control on their power, except for the Calypsos. So, for me, that indicates a couple of things if we're going to like take a hard critical analysis of it. The original power that got split between Tyreen and Troy probably wasn't absorption. Or if it was a different kind of absorption, and because of the way that the power ended up getting distributed between Tyreen and Troy, it creates this power vacuum inside of them that is ravenous. That's the only thing that, as I'm thinking about like how it works further and more in detail, that I can come up with that explains why her powers behave the way that they do. Because no other siren is ravenous for whatever that they do. You don't see Lilith just bamfing around everywhere casually.
What we're doing here. Let me learn you real quick. See, my brother and I were born into a cage. Dad told us it was for a
Sap, sorry, who the fuck cares?
full of bandits that would tear us apart.
He was right.
And when we finally got free, turned out he was right. Bandits as far as the eye could see. Bandits were the biggest untapped resource in the galaxy. There are billions of them across the borderlands. Human wreckage left over from the corporate wars.
Which would have been a much more interesting story than yours.
Special, so they fight for us and die for us because they finally have a place where they belong. A family. My family. The universe is theirs as long as they obey.
I'm sorry. The justification used for Tyreen is slim. Like, they literally, I'm not even joking. From my perspective, they could have literally just written, oh, I wanted to do the opposite of my father. That would have felt honest for the characters. But they're trying to give her this level of depth the character, like the games don't really need.
It's time. Woo, I can't wait to leave Pandora. I've been here so long it's in my bones, and that's a very
And that's the truth. The game was capable of a lot more depth, but the way Tyreen and Troy were characterized, they are not these... And it's not even like just their egos about them. They are literally some of the worst written characters in the Borderlands series. And I'm talking Steel had, what, a dozen lines in Borderlands 1 and is more developed than Tyreen and Troy. Typhon had a lot of characterization, but they didn't. And that is kind of the catch that I find myself. Now, I like the core gameplay mechanics of the game. Don't get me wrong. But I like to write, too. I like to read. I like to sit down and work my way through a book. Or, in my case, my very specific case, writing a book and writing 1,000 words a day for 2 months straight. Documentaries.
She's fuel. Them COV keep coming at the queen and getting right.
Ready to go, killer? What the hell?
And like, that scene is superfluous.
Take the lift to the catwalk.
There is no reason, let me be blunt here, there is no reason for Lilith to be holding on to the key. And there is no reason for her to fight them 2-on-1. Lilith is not rocking an ego in that scene. She's trying to be protective.
I knew them COV sumbitches wouldn't let us
That
leave the door
is
without
bad
a
writing.
Well, there's
She could have bamped away and left those two stranded there. Hopped on the ship and just bamped people in until they were ready to go. Because obviously between, oh, did it get out? Yeah, it got out. Obviously she's gotten stronger between Borderlands 2 and Borderlands 3 with her powers. As we see her do different things with it throughout the game. Throughout the early parts of the game and at the end of the game. So the question becomes... Why did she try to fight them 2-on-1? Not knowing their powers, not knowing their abilities, there was no reason for her to do that. From a narrative point of view. Now, if we take a look at it from from an actual story point of view. From a narrative point of view, we have to have Lilith weakened so that the Calypsos actually come off as a threat. Because the truth is, what stops Lilith from just bamping them into space and not being able to do anything with it, or upper atmosphere and just dropping them down? She has a lot more combat experience than both of those two, and she is by far more skilled with her siren abilities. Now, mind you, this is not coming from a fan of the series. This is coming from a writing perspective. This happens in a lot of really poorly paced and poorly thought out story narratives. Where people create their own enemies, not because they want to, but because, as I think it was either Cisco or Ebert said, it's a dummy plot. The only way the plot progresses is if everyone involved is a dummy.
help her up, VH. We gotta get
And that's exactly what it takes for Lilith to fight them 2-on-1, knowing that they leech powers. No joke. That's exactly what's required, is everyone has to be acting like they're stupid.
you hold on to that astronaut chip for now, hun. This is bad, but now ain't the time to talk.
And I don't think the writers over at Gearbox sat down and thought about it. In fact,
Get on the ship. We
Lilith losing her powers at this point is a bad idea. Listen to me. The best thing that they could have done is had her powers drained inside the first vault. Maya is fighting Troy, not realizing the powers that he has. She gets the advantage on her. Troy reaches down, grabs her arm, and starts to absorb Maya and her siren abilities. Lilith screams out, "No!" or "Watch what you're doing," and tries to blast him. And that's when Tyreen gets the drop on her. It fits the narrative better. It fits the way that the story progresses. But no, that's not what the creators wanted. They wanted Tyreen and Troy bamfing people in to make it easier to explain why they're on on Promethea. And that's where I lose my shit when it comes to the writing. It's not necessarily bad. It's just that they put no real thought into it. And then, when Ava is upset at Lilith, she has a reason to be upset at Lilith. It's not this, "You're the Firehawk." Bitch, she got drained. She's not the Firehawk anymore. She's Lilith, the commander. And that's where it really gets me for the writing on this story. And it's my biggest complaint about it. I don't complain about some of the graphical issues. I don't complain the nerfing characters, the dog shit.
Is there anyone there? Hello?
But yeah, flat out.
Where you at, Tannis?
My wares, my beautiful implements of destruction.
They had a really good moment in chance for this. And they did it in the wrong order. You can still have Lilith's powers drained. But no, you have to have a reason that Tyreen can bamf people into places. To make it easier to explain how so many bandits were on Promethea.
I appreciate the help, Vault Hunter, but don't expect a fire there. Better buy up the rest quick. Very limited stock.
Shotgun. I'm gonna stop there for now. But that's entirely the catch, is they did the story out of order on where Lilith should have lost her powers. She still loses her powers. She still gets back up to the station. And she's still at the point where she can't help out further. You don't have this pity party for one of the badasses of the series.
You mean the intergalactic intern/slaves? Of course. I locked them all in a small room to ensure their unwavering loyalty. It's Management 101.
I'm gonna say this once. No slaves.
No slaves for a week.
Yeah, I'm sorry I ranted about this. This is one of the things that makes me mad. Because from a narrative perspective, from a story perspective, it makes zero sense. And with it making zero sense, it takes me out of the narrative. It takes me out of the story. Now I'm going, wow, that was stupid of her. She can bamf away. But no, she's not.
Oh, hell. We gotta cut our losses and vent the cargo bay.
Mind you,
Well, there goes the grapple grabber, the jetpack, and all the left-handed guns. Guess it wasn't meant to be. But if Earl didn't get sucked out into the icy mall space, he should have a spare entropy accelerator.
ooh.
Earl, wake the hell up!
But yeah, that is my biggest complaint about this game. It's entirely the story. And it's not the story overall. It's where things happen throughout the story. Lilith losing to Troy and Tyreen there is supposed to make them look more intimidating, but it doesn't. It takes your well-established character who is a hard ass and turns her into a little pussy. A really good example of taking a badass character and leaving them badass, even though the movie was shit, is Alien Resurrection. Joss Whedon fucked that movie up. But what he did right is whenever the pirates come in, what you see is they aren't... thank you for following YYXO. Thank you. You're welcome. I just lost my train of thought. Would not be the first time. What was it? So Ridley is talking with the pirates. The pirates are interrupting her while she's playing basketball. She plays basketball with them and stomps Ron Perlman. And she is still presented as someone who might be in danger, but she is still an obvious badass. What's it? But whenever you suddenly drain out all of Lilith's power to the Calypsos this early, it doesn't come off as genuine. It's a story misstep. They still should have beaten her. They still should have beaten Maya. But Lilith is too smart to do 2-on-1 with someone who leeches powers on contact. Just saying. If you don't know, EXO, BorderQuest is my annual playthrough of all the Borderlands games, beginning with 1 TPS, and following to 2 and 3. After all this, what will happen is I will be preparing for Wonderlands to come out next week. And whenever Wonderlands come out, I'll probably be focusing on that content for at least 2 or 3 weeks in the evening. I might not be playing it all online. My job happens to afford me with a few advantages that a lot of people don't have, which is if it is a slow day for my company, I can play a little bit more often. Oh yeah, it's being fussy with it. Let's go ahead and see if we get anything good out of here. Ooh, legendary. A Nova Burner. It's not the best Nova Burner, but it's a Nova Burner. Okay. Nothing there. Hi, Metis. How are you doing tonight? We're on to Borderlands 3, and we are playing Moe's. We are going with a Fire Bear build. And I found a random sleeping giant drop. You just missed me ranting about storyline, the story for this game, by the way. How are you doing tonight, man? Wait, gotta talk to Lilith, gotta talk to Lilith, gotta talk to Lilith. Please, Wonderlands, no talk to Lilith missions.
Looks like we aren't the only ones with their eye on Promethea.
Or a dialogue skip option. That's good to hear.
Listen, about what happened on Pandora.
In short, where Lilith loses her powers is stupid.
Can I count on you?
Both Maya should have died in the vault, and Lilith should have been down there.
Anyone knows
And that's where she should have lost her powers, not on Pandora. Lilith is too smart to have got her powers sucked out in a 2v1.
Maliwan must be jamming their comms.
That's the shorthand of it.
Wait, here's something.
All they had to do was move that particular scene where she loses to Tyreen into the first vault,
They need help down there.
and that would have solved the problem about Lilith getting caught off guard.
If we can back them up, maybe they'll
You
help
still can have Maya grabbing onto
search.
Troy, getting him in the headlock.
Distress call
He grabs her, starts to suck out her siren powers,
the Promethean fast travel network.
and then that's where Tyreen gets Lilith. It solves the chief problem of Lilith being stupid, because she isn't a stupid character. But the reason they made it happen there is so that they can bamf in bandits into Meridian, onto Promethea. That's the reason why. Nah, let's not use the clearly established Maliwan
Look like a rough ride.
ships that they already have. Tyreen's already talked about the bandits all over
Kelly got you
the
within
Borderlands.
limits. Go find whoever made that distress call.
Nope, we gotta have her power stolen early so she's weak. No, Lilith. So here's the catch. The way that I would have done it is they don't succeed, but they try to jump Lilith where they do outside of Sanctuary 3. And whenever they do so, Lilith says, "I know what you can do," and she bamps away. She doesn't fight them. She leaves them on the dry dock.
Hey, Superfan!
Once we get the key down here, what Lilith does is she joins Maya inside the vault after the vault monster is killed. And whenever she does that, that's when Troy and Tyreen show up again. And they had that fight like I describe it. You solve the real big problem about Lilith being stupid.
Universal translator module. Finally, I'll have someone to talk to who understands what I'm saying. Me, NTN, Des?
But they wanted this scene here where Tyreen's bamping people in.
Bloody hell, that got...
I thought we were sorted back there. Hey, you! Over here! Slag me! You've got some good timing.
Bandits somehow got their hands on some wicked Maliwan guns. Oh, right, I'm Lorelei. Did Reese send you?
I don't know a Reese.
My boss, CEO of Atlas. We're at war with Maliwan. Not for the
I'm gonna
right?
grab you.
Now all these maniacs show up all over the...
That's the reason. So this is something that I wish I could have done when I wrote my book. I wish I had a third-party person to read it. Someone who had no financial investment in the book. I give them like $50. They read the book, they critique it, they send it back to me and say, "This is where problems are. This is how you can correct it. Why is this character doing this? This doesn't seem like a smart thing to do, Justin."
Grab some wheels. We need to spillways and rigorous travel.
And then all of a sudden, my book can be a lot better. That happens with games as well. A really good example of no one outside of the development team or the story writing team writing the next game or the next expansion in the series is WoW. WoW keeps that stuff. Blizzard keeps all that stuff under wraps,
Other wheels, that's Maliwan.
and they have a lot of really bad writing.
See if we can find where they're getting this stuff. Nice, I see an echo in the wreckage. Grab it. Okay, one more time, and I'm gonna say it slowly. Don't
But if they would have put it past a couple of fans who are writers, or put it past a couple of fans who know the, I'm gonna say, know the story better than they do, they probably would have had a better written Shadowlands than what they got.
But we made a deal with Malawan, and now we're not going to kill them. So, what are we going to do when we see a Malawan guy?
Malawan guys. And that's just like writing 101. So, something I did once I began to actually writing my own novel is I listened to Stephen King's On Writing, which is actually a really good book to either listen or do an audiobook with, because he did his own narration for that one.
Oi, Skyman! Open up!
And what he said is you take your book, your first manuscript, your first draft, you shove it in your sock drawer, and you leave it there for at least 90 days. 3 months. You do not touch that book. You do not go back to it. You do not edit it. You do not revise it. You don't get a wild hair up your ass and say, I think this would work really well in this book. You leave it right there. You leave it untouched. You come back to it 3 months later. Reread it from the very beginning. Because by then, you've done so much more that all the fine details that you had in your head while you were, like, plotting it out, you lose them. That's what I did. I had to edit a whole bunch of my book because of that. I had to literally cut 4 or 5 paragraphs because they made no sense. And I knew all the story points. I had to add stuff to clarify positions, because how does he know this at this point? I know this because I've written the end of the book, and I knew where the book was going from the beginning. I'm betting whoever wrote this is a type of writer that I am. I'm a discovery writer. And what that means is I don't go in with a beginning, middle, and end all plotted out. Like a lot of writers, what they do is they will, before they write out all the plot points. A happens, B happens, C happens, D happens, so forth and so on, until the end of the book. What I do is I say, you know what, this is a really good opening. It came to me in a dream, and I wrote it down. And then I go, let's see what I can do to improve that. And then I add a little bit more to it, and then I'm like, okay, I'm getting the groove of this book. I'm filling these characters out. This seems like something that would really happen. And that seems like what happened here is whoever wrote it picked up the notes from Anthony Birch, because Anthony Birch had already written out the story. And, or at least written out the plot. He didn't write out the whole story. And I'm betting he only got the baseline structure of it, which says Lilith loses her powers, or Tyreen absorbs Lilith's powers, Troy kills Maya, and the rest of it was just kind of in the air as the rest of the story goes on, because we should all know the story at this point. God, this sleeping giant is amazing. And discovery writers have to be careful, because what will happen is we won't think about 3 chapters ahead. We're writing at that moment. At that moment, what is happening. When I wrote my book, I had a few things like in my head. I knew where the final confrontation was going to take place. I knew I didn't know who the final bad guy was. Like, I had no idea who was going to be the antagonist at the end of the book. Because it wasn't necessarily a protagonist-antagonist type of relationship throughout the book. It was more about family and friends and stuff like that. And what happens is folks like me specifically, we get lost. We can find ourselves somewhere where we never expected to be. And that seems what happened here. And so you see a lot of that happening with certain types of stories, especially video game stories. Is that it's kind of plotted out, but the story just, you miss beats because they don't have someone like proofreading. They're called beta readers is what the title is. And what beta readers do, they go, why? They sit down and, like I was describing earlier, getting someone to do it, they sit down and go, okay, Lilith is a smart commander of an entire organization of people. She is one of the most, if not the most experienced siren that we know of. Why is she fighting a 2v1 against these two people? And go, this is illogical. Ooh, a backhand, but I don't like backhands. Same thing would happen, like, in writing communities, there's actually a whole thing about men who write women, and about how bad a lot of men write women. And some of the people, like some of my favorite, like, people who read Reddits, I like listening to people read the men writing women, because that is some of the funniest writing you'll ever hear. Her boobs smiled like they were supposed to greet the day. And you go, wait, what? But yeah, like I said, that's the one big thing I would have made a change. Then them showing up in the vault and going, ooh, we get both of them, makes more. We also, like I said in previous parts of BorderQuest this year, Ava's badly written, and her getting upset at Lilith makes no sense at that point, because Lilith wasn't in the vault. She was disabled before we got to Promethea. So how is it Lilith's fault? And it's not just some child lashing out at an authority figure. It's entirely because she could have been driven better. If Lilith was down in the vault when Maya loses her powers, Lilith has a reason to be blamed. And I'll be honest, they might have originally written it that way. But the desire to bamf people in, like, you don't need the bandits on Promethea. Not until we start searching for the actual vault. So you could have had all these Malawan soldiers around here, and you have exactly what you need for this planet. And again, I'm not judging it like based off of the gameplay, because I like the gameplay in Borderlands 3. Super, super like the gameplay in Borderlands 3. But that one aspect of the story is so aggravating to me. Sorry, this is, like, writing is something I like to do. I will sit down and I will write a story. I've got a book about a demon that is at like 11,000 words that I have no idea how to progress it. Without pulling the old writer's trick of what's the worst thing that can happen. And then doing whatever the worst thing that can happen is. But I don't like that methodology, because then you have something that doesn't make sense that could happen. What's the worst thing that could happen?
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
But again, we're just talking about my perspective on the matter.
The force field's down? Brilliant.
Um,
This depot should be easy pickings now.
Are those Atlas dropships?
but what are the odds of someone from Gearbox listening to my rant about where the writing could have been significantly better? About hiring proofreaders to go through the story before they do it. Before they actually decide to put it out there. It's so slim, it's like not worth thinking about. Hello? Is this me you're looking for? I can feel it in your eyes. Like that. Wow, I am not hitting these grenades. Wow, and I missed that one too. But with that said, those guys also get paid the big bucks. I don't. I have sold a total of 8 copies of my book. So, who's the better writer? Even if their writing is... Like, you can't say it's objectively worse. But you can say that it is more successful as a book than my own stuff. But yeah, Ava's little hissy fit about you're the Firehawk and all that stuff, that makes sense if Lilith was down there in the vault after the Rampager. It does not make sense if she is not. You could have even still had Ava down there in the vault. Hell, let's be lazy. Let's go super lazy with this. Maya's the only one who escorts us to the vault, because Lilith has to stay up in the ship being a commander. Ava slips free. Like, she gets out, she's not being restrained or anything like that. She gets out, Lilith chases after her. By the time Lilith realizes that she's not there anymore and she's chased her down to planet side. Yeah, this is the way I want to go. So, all of a sudden, Lilith's down there with Ava. Ava's being scolded by Lilith because she got away and she was supposed to stay up on the base. Ooh, that's a fire leech. I'll hold on to that. No. Yes. So, Ava's down on the planet. She didn't just get away, or if she did just get away, someone was chasing after her. You have Lilith, Ava, and Maya all in the same place. And we end up with the same conclusion. You can even go Ava getting pushed down by Troy. Maya losing her composure, rushing over without thinking about it, and she gets bulldozed by him. She phase locks him, gets him in the headlock, boom, we're at the same point. That's also enough to get Lilith distracted from fighting Tyreen. And by the time she gets the idea to bamf out of there, or she doesn't bamf out because she has two of her friends down here right now. She can't just leave them.
You broke the curb.
And now all of Lilith's actions make sense. You still have Tyreen taking her powers. You still have Troy getting Maya's powers. Yeah, like I said, I'm taking a good... The gameplay's fine. Like, you won't ever hear me, like, complain about the gameplay. But that story point is so stupid. But mind you, I'm a writer. So, critically analyzing another work is something I do from time to time. And you have to do it. I think my book is probably a little plain. The romantic interest just shows up. The relationship is developed probably way too fast. And those are me criticizing my own book. So, yeah. It's just one of those things. And it's... I really think that they could have done better. They probably would have done better with a beta reader or two. And again, this is just me talking out loud about it. But like I said, what are ever the odds of Randy Pitchford coming in here and listening to me rant about this? Anthony Birch, Ashley Birch, who would be able to get to Anthony, and like going, hey, look, this random guy on the internet says that the story could have been better by doing this stuff. Honestly. I know who I am. My writing skills are probably would have been laughed at. Oh, the companion. Alrighty then. And we have repose. Don't want the repose. Actually, the Bernie that I have is Nova Burner is actually a pretty good one to have. And I apologize that I was ranting about this. This is something I feel passionately about. The biggest thing when it comes to games that will completely drive me to dog you out for, like, start really getting nitpicky is when you have a logical, like, this, not just a small plot hole, but, like, something that you can drive a semi through. And no one really addresses it because, nope, not what I want to do. Oh, that's right. Then we need to go back. There we go. Cute. Okay. So Incendiary's maxed out. And now we're going to start pumping back into here again. But yeah, for me, all about the story. Oh, it's just a surge. Okay. But it's not to say it's bad. It's just that that is a everything else in the game I actually find to be perfectly fine. as far as the story goes, everything else in the story is good.
So how was Prometheus?
But that one thing,
Atlas is getting
it is the stupidest thing that they ever could have done. And it's also you can have early bandits in Promethea, and you can have Tyreen bragging about her bamfing people in. That's it.
bad time.
Yeah, kinda. I'm guessing you're calling for the same reason Malawan's trashing our monastery? Well, I don't have it, but I know where it is. Hey, get here soon or you'll miss all the fun. And by fun, I mean getting bulldozed by corporate murder squads.
Maya. She can hold her own until we get there. She's a siren and as badass as they come. Hell, maybe we can convince her to join us.
It would be helpful to have another siren on board. Besides you,
What?
Lilith.
What was that?
I'm still counting
What
you.
was that?
Oh,
Mrs. I've got most of my chest covered up now, and you can't really see my left arm. What was that?
everyone's looking at Claptrap. Booyah!
Set a course for Athena's Vault Hunter.
Sorry. So, Battleborn was a project from Gearbox, and it wasn't a bad project by any stretch of the imagination. Was it fantastic? No. It was their attempt to do a MOBA style game in their universe. And there is a hidden message in it that says, "Don't trust Tannis. She isn't what she says she is." Which was supposed to hint at her being something dark and mysterious. And no, she's just a siren. That's it. And you know where they really, really lost it? Like oh, it's possible that they were just being mysterious and vague. Was literally whenever they let the demo out, and they said, yes, but you have to cut the footage off here. And whenever they were showing it off, they did not cut off it before that moment. Do not pick up the vault key whenever you kill Genevieve. Nope, what do? They let Tannis talk.
Clear out those troops. I'll be there soon. Just laying out some
Oh, that's right.
realignment.
But yeah. You can ask my little brother. I don't think he's here tonight. Kermit Kilda. I write, and I used to write a lot in high school too when nobody was looking because I was super self-conscious about my writing back then. Now the only reason I don't advertise my book on my channel is because I want to keep that separate. It has a little bit too much information about me that if you start Google searching, you can figure out what my real name is, and I don't want my real name to be out there. That's it. But yeah, I've written a book. I've gotten it self-published because I wanted to get it out there. And when I actually am reading this, whenever I'm watching the game and I'm seeing the story unfold, it's annoying.
More action? Malawan's full of teched out nerds.
It is more annoying than talk to Lilith 3 times in a row.
So, follow me. We'll meet up with my apprentice. If she hasn't gotten herself killed.
More annoying than that. And if you've ever heard me rant about this game, you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say,
Maybe it is, but right now,
I find that talk to Lilith sections to be infuriating.
Pandora to protect this place. That was working out pretty good until Malawan found us.
Attention, stupid pacifist monks! This is Oppressor Trant. It's not just a title. Oppression is
Is
my
my profession.
Athena
And see, like, that right there makes her such more of a badass than how some of the characters are treated. Hi. Bye. Bam! Come on, baby. Whenever I'm cooking through your shields, you have a problem. Come on. Killing is my business, and business is good.
Now you think I'm doing this because I enjoy terrorizing you, but it's actually to make my big brother proud of me. He's a general, you see, and I got a huge inferiority complex about it. So
Superiority complex, not inferiority.
to impress him, then so be it, you know?
Come on.
You get it, right? You get it.
Secure the square. Once it's safe, we'll ring the bell of peace so the monks can let us through.
She just sat with me, murdering these folks, and now she's acting like we haven't already done that. This was probably a programming issue, and that's fine by me.
Day and night. Kind of a nightmare, honestly.
Naya, where's the little one?
Probably finding trouble.
Finding trouble or causing it. May the six storms protect you.
Ugh, he's right. I should check on my apprentice. Ava, are you still guarding the library?
Maya! Yes, I am definitely at the library because you told me to stay there. Here, because it's where I still am.
I seriously don't like Maya. Or, Ava, I mean.
Keeping Ava in one place is like holding on to Quicksilver. That's why I took her in.
Bring her to, you know, survive.
Attention, monks of Venus! This is Captain Trons. Surrender the vault key fragment immediately. We're gonna downsize your stupidly serene planet. That means we're gonna blow it up. God, I love this company. Form and function.
Tell me to ring the bell.
Hell yeah, Vault Hunter. If you'd been around when the invasion started, we just might have held our own. Now ring the bell.
I'm gonna need some iridium to get into the anchor hold. It'll amp up my siren powers. On an extremely related note, how do you feel about grave robbing?
I have no qualms with it.
A lot worse, like, seriously.
Good. There's some iridium hidden in the cemetery. Something tells me Ava's already there. She'll help you out. I've never actually been inside the anchor hold. It's got iridium protections around it, but I think I can get around them. There's a passage in my book of ancient siren techniques. I'm gonna go grab it, since the library's unprotected, and I'll catch up with you later.
Thank you. You did good, Cub.
Oregon? No, Nagata. You can actually see I'm a little under-leveled for here, but it's not so bad that I'm not able to compensate for it just by being a better gamer than the game is. And mind you, this is our introduction to Ava. She's not killing them. She's not the person who's done this. And if she was meant to be that person, if she was supposed to be the person who killed those Maliwan assault troopers, show it. She has nothing that you would expect for someone who is wanting her profession in life. Ooh, let's go over here. We're gonna drop that, and we're gonna put that in. She doesn't have any real cockiness. She doesn't have any of that Vault Hunter swagger. We see her picking up the bodies of the stealing from corpses is our first introduction to her. And what I would say is it would have been better if our first introduction to her, if she was supposed to be as badass as she is set up to be, is to see her killing the Maliwan soldiers. But I know why they didn't have her that being shown, because you never see her do anything like that. Is because they're afraid of possible violent tendencies and other minors. But yeah, they don't want other children to go, oh, Ava did it, so I can do it. They don't want any situation like that. I've actually gotten pretty far tonight. Yeah, we're not all gonna be dead. Well, let's be honest. You invaded their home, not the other way around. You do see her shooting, like right now, because she is seen as an active combatant, but you don't really see her making a lot of kills. And that, I think, is all on purpose. But mind you, that's my perspective. They don't want a cutscene where they see the company sees a child just murdering people. So it's easier to show her robbing them than to than to actually kill them. And like right now, while I'm shooting things, do I look like I'm focused on her? No. You can tell whenever I'm using my super click button. So here's the catch. Actually saving and quitting out here, I have found, at least in my own personal test, I don't know if it's actually quicker, and if it is, it's only like by 5 seconds, which would just cut down load screen time. But since I'm not looking to actually speedrun the game, I don't have to worry about that.
Cup's empty. Guess it's up to me.
But in the director's cut DLC, they did try to give her more personality, more actual character.
away on one of our seasonal merchandise.
See, and again, you have a terrific line right there.
She tried to steal my book, and instead of throwing her off a cliff, I decided to train her as my apprentice. I've got my book and heading your way in a sec. I'm just finishing up some. Die, you corporate bastard!
Now, here's the catch to this.
Relaxation exercises.
What is annoying by it is they ruin the moment.
You would think our clamps are suited to the piano, and they aren't. That guy's got
And
the dope harmonizing
it,
muscle.
they clap-trapped their game. That's, you know what, that's what I'm gonna call it. They clap-trapped their game.
Games. Unless that game is kill the mugs. That'd be awesome.
So, there is a moment in Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep where everyone's sitting there talking about how this is a beautiful moment, and then Claptrap ruins it. That's what they did with a lot of their jokes in this. A lot of their, like, serious content. And then Claptrap said something stupid and ruined the moment. Ooh. Looks like a grenade.
Well done, Derry. You wasted Tron. Good riddance.
Huh.
Was his name Trant? You got the iridium? Give it here. I've never been able to use iridium the way Lilith does. But I found
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the transfusion here. As much as I like the fastball, I think the transfusion goes with the build a little bit better. Baby, come back. Any fool can say.
Holy crap. I feel like I could phase lock a planet right now.
Teach me that right now.
I could get used to that kind of power.
Oh, I should pick all this stuff up so I can sell it.
Let's get the key fragment, Vault Hunter. So, Ava, you survived the invasion. Guess all those hours staring at water taught you something after all.
I can handle myself. I learned to fight way before I met you.
Let's spar, kid.
Oh, you know I would, but I've got a loot to sort through.
And see, right there,
Go pack a bag. Get your wish.
almost character development.
Wait, for real? I mean, yeah, cool, whatevs. Could be fun, I'll grab the stuff.
Why is it so wrong for her to show enthusiasm? Like, maybe it's because I already don't like Ava that I nitpick her behavior and her reactions in the game. And maybe that's just a personal issue that I gotta get over. Baby, come back. Hola. ¿Cómo está?
This relic's been here since before I was born. But as long as Malawan knows it's here, Athenas will never be safe. I should tell you this before I explain it to Lilith. The real reason I took Ava on as an apprentice, she's going to be a siren someday. And I want to make sure she's ready when that happens. See you up in the stars, Vault Hunter.
Could you have been any more ominous that you are going to die? By the way, that's literally what I said when I first played the game. Because it's so obvious the moment she says that what's going to happen. See, my thought was they were also going to find Tannis, strip Tannis of her powers, and then strip whoever has Commander Steele's new power. Whoever stole Commander Steele's power. Because Commander Steele... Oh. Oh.
Maya tell me about it all the time.
Yeah, that's a nice backup. Um ammo for that, ammo for that. Okay, no, nothing more. Okay. Yep. Okay. But yeah, that's the catch, and that's the me ranting and raving about it. And I should probably stop because I think I chased everybody away from it.
Discounted burritos. In case you were wondering, this isn't a complete vault key. Why the Iridians split the keys into fragments is
Really?
anyone's guess, but
Would have never guessed that it wasn't the complete vault key.
Still, it's a start. You should return to Lilith. I'm sure she and Maya have a lot of catching up to do, or whatever it is people with social lives do. No, thank you. Give me a sterile room full of surgical equipment any day.
Venus, what do you mean a siren apprentice? I can't explain it right now, Lilith, but she's going to be a siren someday.
We'll talk about this later. What's up, killer? Maya says you kicked some major ass.
Yes, like I did on Pandora.
I believe it.
Like why is this a surprise? And
So what is this all about, Lilith? Why is Malawan on Athenas? Our key fragment has been a secret for generations. How did they find out about it now?
I'm not sure. Calypso seemed to know more about the vaults than any of us, even Tanis. They knew about the vault map. Maybe they told Malawan to invade Athenas. They say they're after something called the Great Vault. The vault on Promethea must be part of their plan.
like this right here isn't bad. Like this dialogue isn't horrible. I'll be right back. Dinner's not messing with me, and dinner from last night is probably not helping. I didn't have a good dinner last night.
Wow, nice mustache.
Thanks. It's Siege mustache. Listen, I'm gonna have to cash in on that Allies card. Katagawa's got an asteroid-mounted laser aimed at Atlas HQ, and he's threatening to slice me in half unless I surrender. I'm freaking out here. Freaking out. And Zero reports the laser's being powered by a vault key fragment. So
All I needed to hear, we're on it.
now we're talking. Yay, allies. Reese out.
Go down there and help Reese with his laser issue, Vault Hunter. I hope Reese knows what he's doing. Lilith says he's one of us, but can't trust a man with a mustache. That's just science. So, the tattoos. You want to talk about it?
Honestly, no. Not much to say.
Gotcha. Well, I should probably get settled in. It's good to be back on Sanctuary. A Sanctuary.
There used to be so many of us on Pandora. Now it's like we're spilled across the stars.
That's 2 fragments down. Wonder where the third one's hiding. Probably Reese's mustache.
Strange times.
That's 2 fragments down. Wonder where the third one's hiding. Probably Reese's mustache. Lead and iron.
Sorry for that, stepping away again.
Don't need rifles, don't need ranks. Wait.
Oh, I think I'll be able to get the first vault done tonight. Maybe. I might be able to get it done in the next hour. Look at me, live.
It's vault o'clock, baby. Meet me at Launchpad 7. So Malawan has that laser on lockdown. There's no way your drop pod would get through security. But I've got a state-of-the-art Atlas brand ship with cloaking. So the plan is to fly up to the orbital platform and take out that laser before Katagawa knows what hit him.
Oh no, I'm not gonna be able to get to the first vault tonight.
Aslan de Vega, my partner slash nemesis. He talked a big game. There was a reason why he was down on his luck. He was lazy, but I was hungry to prove myself. Then one time, we were wandering through the Casmarian quarry, and I fell through some brittle rock. Aslan calls down, "Nice knowing you, De Leon." Grabs my stuff and splits. Well, I had to find another way up. And bam, that's what...
Hey, you made it! My ship's... Katagawa!
Reese, buddy. Giving that unconditional surrender any more thought? Or do you need another love slap from your old pal Laseroid to change your mind? Screw you!
I like that the skyline is a real skyline.
Atlas into the Malawan family. Oh, and you can bring Zero. I'll bet he's interested. I'd die before I hand over Atlas to that corporate asshat.
New plan. New plan. We steal a Malawan shuttle with security protocols. Here, take this. So, the Viper drive.
So,
Atlas state-of-the-art.
I'm going to make an assumption and say that Randy Pitchford, or whoever wrote the, who assisted in writing,
Quick question. Is that
actually had some advanced IT knowledge.
Find yourself a Malawan
So,
shuttle and pop in a Viper drive.
what the Viper Drive is, it's a remote access tool for the actual device. Not for the box that it's plugged into, but for the device itself. So, Reese, being able to hack things, can hack things well.
Okay. Hey, let me know when you're there.
That's what it comes off to me. Someone who is actually into information security as like a hobby and a career. That's what it seems like to me, which is a real thing. In fact, dongles like this, which most people have for their wireless keyboards, behave on the same functionality.
Well, that actually worked. I mean, of course that worked. And no death spheres in sight.
Death spheres?
Death Spears?
Never mind. According to Zero's intel, your vault key fragment is powering the laser. Just gotta find the control room. Head to the main gate.
So for right now, I'm going to hold on to the Sleeping Giant. It's going to help me take down Katagawa Ball. Most of the other enemies are going to be shot with this lovely handgun.
That's how he became head of mergers and acquisitions of Malawan. Oh, by the way, be careful with this low gravity. Might take some getting used to.
They should have done more with the low gravity. They should have done something with the double jump. Like, they missed a lot of opportunities in this. I can ride my bike with no handlebars, no handlebars, no handlebars. I can ride my bike with no handlebars, no handlebars.
Looks like there's security up ahead. You take care of that. I will make sure they
Where'd it go? Wow, this thing is just not cooperating this time.
No, no, no! You can't do this!
Come on. There we go. It's just Dinklebot. Dinklebot has a lot of armor, and I always like to get one of those and turn it in and see what happens. I can ride my bike with no handlebars.
They couldn't hack
Popped ahead.
Kill us.
Hi. Bye. As I mercilessly murder a whole battalion. This would probably be a platoon, not a battalion.
I'm feeling it!
Okay.
Nice murdering! I'll find you a way in. Pop a Viper drive into that console so I can hack security and locate the project.
Oh yeah, I should probably do that.
Viper drive. When you're hacking.
So, essentially what he's doing is he's creating a terminal
I'm gonna open that gate.
on his end
Reinforcements on the
that he
outside.
can access
Arms
remotely.
cover and ambush them.
That doesn't mean he has access codes,
Here they come.
and because of that, he has to do all manual hacking.
Into the security console. Then I will hack in, locate the laser control room. Damn, you kill real good. Real good.
Now,
The main
here's the
element
catch.
down to the laser.
He probably has a very specific signature. How many times have we seen the Viper drive be used? Twice.
Right down to the laser.
Most, even today, there is a type of machine learning called heuristic learning. And heuristic learning is something that's very interesting. It's used in both information security as well as machine learning and AI learning and stuff like that.
Reese, is that you? Welcome.
So what's happened is the first time it said, okay, that's kind of an anomaly, but we don't see anything out of the ordinary. All right, we see it again. And the third time, security gets notified. And then it sees that within a short period of time, you have 3 attempts, 2 accesses and 1 attempt from this very specific device, which it's never seen on its network before. And what it does is it goes, okay, this is not supposed to be here. I'm stopping it. For anyone who's actually curious about information security type stuff, that's essentially what's going on here. Whether or not that's what their intention was, or if they just kind of went based off of tropes, there is a legitimate everything for what's happened here. Favorite laser. I like Katagawa better than I like Ava. Yeah, they're not going to be able to do that. I can ride my bike with no handlebars. No handlebars. No handlebars. Mother...
Damn it. He locked down the elevator. Let's see. Oh, hell yeah. Some spy stuff. Head through those ventilation ducts. They lead straight into the maintenance
So,
area.
it's very easy to forget about this section round here. And where is it at? Here it is. People forget to check this area.
All right. Head through maintenance. I might have found a way into the laser control room.
Here we go.
I know your stupid vault hunters are skulking about.
Skulking? I am murdering everyone on your space station. Everyone.
Oh, that was my favorite.
I can't wait till I shove a pistol in your face and pull the trigger.
Booyah! And that's only half power. If you don't surrender soon, Reese, I'm gonna slice you in half. Stupid Katagawa. I totally could have held him off. And then he allied with the stupid
Children of the Void.
Those cultists have been working themselves to death. I can't compete with free labor.
Yo, CLV, bring me a vault hunter. I'm gonna hollow it out and use it for a koozie while I'm partying on the Zanara.
Serving up fresh.
See, and here's one of the things that I never understood. Why are they only looking for vault hunters? Like, are vault hunters the only class of people that have skills? That have action skills? Because there's got to be some more people in the universe, in this universe, that has, like, action skills. It can't just be vault hunters. Or is it just that vault hunters tend, people with these, like, specialized skills tend to gravitate towards vault hunting? 2 banana, 3 banana, 4.
Damn it! Don't worry, Reese. We've got an
Okay,
anti-infinity laser.
I've been caught by this.
Price of admission. Ooh, idea. Shut down. That's stabilizing.
I made it through this time.
Might buy us some time. I will never forgive Katagawa for destroying Lazy River Land. I used to take my team there to... Booyah! Thrust that, thrusters! That sounded better in my head.
Yeah, it did.
But look, it's working! What the hell is happening?
Yeah, if they would actually come and fight me. Come on. I know you're capable of fighting.
Nothing? Come on, I just got you a new freaking Malouan base. Like, a little celebrations in order. Just press the celebration button. I think it's Q. So, I figured out how to hack Katagawa's laser. And the control room is just up ahead. Pop in a Viper Drive. Atlas, it's state of the art.
Yo, Reese, are those death spheres?
Oh no. I mean, yeah, watch out!
And boom goes the dynamite.
Phaser's gonna be really nice for taking out the some of this stuff. Heuristic logic.
Viper Drive, state of the art garbage. Now die, please. Damn it.
Because the Viper Drive signature on how it works has been cataloged.
Wait, I got an idea. I can remote control one of those admittedly sweet spheres and join you. Pick one out for me.
And again, this is actually not bad technobabble. I was watching a movie a movie review the other day. A guy named Phil Brain, and he was talking about a Steven Seagal movie. Now, Steven Seagal, after like Deadly Siege 2, started to put on like a metric ton worth of weight. So much so where he could like barely move around in his own movies type of stuff. There was a movie, I forget the name of it, where he was up for justice or something like that. It was a stupid title. And Film Brain was, and this was like a review from like 2011, so I'm not surprised he didn't know. It was like 11 years ago when he did the review originally. So, in this movie, there is a little metal capsule. Reese Sphere. About yay big. As you can see, it's no bigger than my thumb. Now, what happened is the technobabble was actually right, and the technobabble was actually in the right thing. So what happens? Companies will cover their products in a type of epoxy, and those epoxies will prevent people from just stealing their technology. If you don't know how to disarm it, you will absolutely, ooh, what's that? Is that a Hellwalker? No, just a Nimblejack. Okay. That's what I expected to get off of her. It's very similar to an older method, because this isn't like when that movie came out, it wasn't a new idea. This has been like hundreds, maybe thousands of years that this was being done. What happened is it is actually something that they used to do with vinegar. And what you would do is you'd have some type of passcode on the outside of a cylinder tube. And that cylinder tube would have a encoded message on the inside. Or body drawings, whatever happens to be the contents of it. It doesn't matter. And what would happen is, if you didn't know the right passcode and you tried to force the thing open, it would break the canister of, I think it's like it's not acid, it would be like ink or vinegar or something that would dissolve the vellum. Because this was something typically done with things like vellum. And and it would ruin the writing, whatever it would happen to be. So if you don't know what the code is and you try to break into it and you're too forceful with it, you can actually break the capsule, destroy whatever you're trying to get into. It's a real thing. And I always thought it was kind of interesting to see something right in a Seagal movie of all things. And a lot of people will use cybersecurity principles in their movies and in their games and not even realize it. That's the reason I'm talking about it. Ugh. So it's always neat to see some of this stuff pop up and go like, that's kind of right. That's kind of right. Right principle, wrong execution. So, that is just bullshit. He set up a firewall. Yeah. It's... he probably just password protected it at this point. It's not like their security is like end all be all great. Let me see how this is working. Oh, much better. Much better. I think the sleeping giant is getting outstripped at this point. Yeah, it's probably just getting outstripped at this moment. Purples? What do we got?
Looks like your vault hunters are still scuttling about. You just won't give up, will you, Reese? That's it. Say goodbye to your favorite Frogurt stand.
Friends, Frogurts?
Anything but friends, Frogurts. I mean, they give you that.
I think I'm going to finish up Katagawa Ball for the night, and then that's probably going to be where I end the stream. It's been about 3 hours. If I didn't work a full work day all day, I might be tempted to stick around a little bit longer. I probably won't do an at-work stream tomorrow, but definitely on Wednesday I'm probably going to do an at-work stream. We're going to pop over to this real quick.
Why didn't I pick a death sphere? This pleasure sphere is useless. Oh, tell you what, I'll play some music to get you in the killing mood.
Phaser. Wrecking your shit one shotgun blast at a time.
Security, they're in the laser control room. Destroy them immediately. Don't be fooled, Reese. Your employees aren't like us. They'd stab you in the back for an extra day off. If I stab you, Reese, you better believe it'll be right in the chest. Because that's what pros do. I've almost got a lock on the Sonora. Defend me while I finish the hack. Reese, listen. Real talk. Someone stronger was going to take over Atlas. If it wasn't Malawan, it would have been Jacobs or Vladoff or even Tedior for crying out loud.
I'm on a freaking roll! Scrub.
Ooh. Okay, where's he at? Okay.
It's finally over. You did it. Grab the fragment.
And no legendaries. Fuck you, Katagawa.
Save, Reese.
Thanks, but let's just take a moment to remember the fallen. Please, fallen. Rest in peace.
That's the second piece of the vault key. Bring it to me aboard
No.
Sanctuary.
Ooh, no. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. I haven't farmed a transformer yet. I normally farm a transformer by now.
Bring the key fragment to me in the lab, Vault Hunter.
Huh.
Always wondered at the sheer size of these vault key fragments. Perhaps the Iridians were larger than us, or stronger. I shall examine this new fragment in private.
Although I could start using some of my old equipment. What was that? Oh, complex root. Nah.
Is this thing on? Test. Hey, Vault Hunter, have we got an opportunity for you?
You don't want to miss it!
You may leave now.
Come talk to me on the bridge.
I'm gonna talk to Lilith just so I can get this out of the way, and I don't have to deal with it tomorrow.
You're putting Malawan to shame out there, killer. Thanks to you, Atlas might just survive the...
And this is where we are gonna call it for the night. I have been streaming for 3 hours, and I've enjoyed all these hours. I know I ranted for a while. I'm sorry about that if you guys got chased away because of it. It is very important to me whenever it comes to story in games like this. If you're trying to have a strong narrative base to your game, it is important to make sure it's all good. Since it is not good, for that one little segment, and admittedly, it's all because of that one little section for me. There is a moment where I have to kind of point that out, and I have to be very specific with my frustration with it. Other than that, we did get pretty far. 3 hours. We're going to be doing the Atlas base tomorrow, and then following up with that, we're going to be able to do the Vault Monster, and more than likely, if I get another 3 hours tomorrow night, we're going to be looking at least Vault Monster, maybe even halfway through Eden 6 at least. I think we could probably clear Eden 6 in probably a couple hours. But with that said, I want to thank you for joining me on BorderQuest. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever time of day it is for you. And may joy be to every last